One simple trick to improving your communication instantly. That is what we're talking about today. Communication is a huge issue. We have to do it with everyone, and most people think that they're pretty good at it, and most people are wrong. As someone who's been a professional communicator for 2 decades, I can tell you that even I have to find my blind spots constantly when it comes to communication, and most people aren't very good at communication. So let me ask you this. Do you ever have conversations with people where they don't really quite understand what you want them to understand? They're not really getting your point? Do you ever have any sort of communication with anyone where they thought that you understood one thing, and then later on you come back and you both figure out, no, you didn't understand it the way that they wanted you to? It's because communication isn't clear. We automatically assume that everybody else knows what we know. I'm sure that you may have at some point in your life had a teacher who wasn't really good at explaining things and maybe got a little frustrated when you didn't understand it. That person didn't know how to communicate from a place of not knowing. They don't remember what it was like, the steps that they needed to take in order to gain the knowledge that they have so that they can pass it along to you. And I'll tell you, it's a skill set. You have to know how to break things down to people so that they'll understand it. But anybody can implement the one simple trick that can simplify your communication instantly, and I'm going to share that with you today.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Jane with GILD Coaching, and today we're talking about one way that you can very quickly and easily improve your communication. It'll help you be understood better by other people. It'll help you feel more confident in your communication, your role in communication, and it will help you gain clarity about what you should do next, all of your next steps when it comes to following up on any communication with anyone. Now, this simple trick works if you're communicating with a little bitty kid or an elderly person and everybody in between. So this works for everyone. And honestly, it is so simple that anyone can implement this. You don't need any knowledge or tools. You only need to know the trick. So I'll tell you the trick by sharing with you a story about a dear friend of mine. She and I have known each other for years. She's a member of the church where my family belongs. She's a deacon there. She's also very philanthropic, and she serves on a number of not-for-profit boards, one where I've worked and worked alongside her and helped to raise money. And she's just a really fantastic friend. She is an incredible business person. She's built her own private wealth management company from the ground up, and nobody knows how she does it all because she's so organized, just has everything so together, and is just a wonderful person. So one day, she and I were sitting together, and it was while we were working together on fundraising for a not-for-profit organization in our area. And I was going through some stuff in my personal life, and I really just needed her wisdom. She's an extraordinarily wise person and somebody who you would love to go to for counsel, sort of a mentor type of a role. So when we sat down to do this fundraising work that we had on our plates, I said, hey, before we dive into that, I'd really like to talk to you about something. And she said, absolutely. We're good friends. She said, absolutely. No problem. I'm happy to. But tell me something first. She said, which hat will I be wearing? And I said, what do you mean, what hat will you be wearing? And she said, well, I served several roles in your life. You're one of my closest friends and I love you, but we're on this board together and we're doing this fundraising, and then I'm also a deacon at the church. So which hat? Do you want me to wear my friend hat, my deacon hat, or my board member hat? And I said, that's really incredibly wise. It's such a simple way to put it. Now, this is a communication technique that I had used before with people, but just the way that she put it kind of put a fresh coat of paint on the old car, you know what I mean? So it just made so much sense to me. And I said, I thought about it for a second. It definitely was not the board member hat, because we were going to do all that stuff in a minute. But I said, I think I want you to put on the friend hat and make sure that you have the deacon hat really close by, because you might want to flip-flop those, as we discuss what I want to discuss. And she said, okay, great, that's fine. So what she did was she clarified what her role is in the communication. And you can do this too. When you're speaking with someone, I'll use another example. We have several children. So when my 12-year-old daughter comes to me and she's upset about something, when she's beginning to tell me what she's upset about, in the past, I haven't always asked, what role do you want me to play here in this communication? Do you want me to be a problem solver? Do you want me to go beat somebody up for you? Because, I just do just about anything for my kids. Or do you just want me to listen? Do you just need somebody to understand and give you some sympathy or empathy and love? And before I started doing that with my daughter, I really put my foot in it a couple times and would get in and try to fix situations and help her, when she really was just looking for me to wear that confidant and comforter hat, right? Not the mama bear, I'm going to protect my young hat. So you can use this tool, and you don't necessarily need to use the term hat. If it makes sense to you, use it. Say Dr. Jane told me that I can use this. And her friend Nancy said that it was fine. But you can use this in all of your communication. And what it does is it helps to simplify everything. It simplifies your thought process. So if you go back to the example with my daughter, what that does is it helps me to know exactly what frame of mind I need to be bringing to the communication. So if she's just wanting me to be that confidant, that comforter, then I don't have to put my problem solving skills, my problem solving hat on. I don't have to put those skills to work, and I can really dive in. What that does is it helps you to be more present and connected. That helps to create deeper relationships and better communication. Now, if she would say, no, I really messed something up and I really need you to help me. Okay, great. I am going to be plugged into her for that conversation, but instead of, the soft listening for comfort and guidance, or just, that shoulder, I'm going to put on more of my business person brain, and I'm going to turn that part of my problem solving skills on, and then I'm going to be able to dive in and say, okay, well, let's talk about your options, kind of like I do with my clients in coaching sessions. And so it really helps to prepare you. And the reason this is such a magical tool for you is that when you're prepared and you understand the role that other person needs you to play, you have lower stress. Because otherwise, with the example of my daughter, otherwise I'm going to want to comfort her. I'm going to want to be that confidant, but then I'm also going to want to fix it. I'm going to want to want to defend her. I'm going to want to fill all of these roles when it's really not necessary. So it lowers your stress. It increases your ability to be present in the right way. And it gives you a chance to calm your mind down and not be so frenzied the whole time that you're communicating with someone. What this also does when you use it with someone who you're communicating with, it helps them to trust you more. It really shows a high level of emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is the key to a successful mindset. Now, I want you to check out this video description because I have some more information about this in there. And there's also a link to our Master Your Mind mentorship program. And we're going to be really diving deep into some of these skills and tools that you can use to boost your emotional intelligence during that mentorship. So maybe that's for you. So you can go down and check that out at the link in the description. Otherwise, if this video has been of help to you, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that little bell so that you get a notification the next time that we drop a video that's going to help you live a life with more success and lower stress. See you next time.